She hasn't done that. She simply hasn't done that. What we have around the corner is a big interview that's going to be dropping this week. Erica Kirk sat down with Jesse Waters, and I can tell you, Charlie loved Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters gave us the most playtime on Fox News back in the beginning. That was the big show that we got to book. And so it's a good fit. It's a fitting program for her to go on to. If she was sitting down with like Bibi Netanyahu's entourage, I might have something to say. But everything that she has done she's been having conversations with people who were actually friends with Charlie. Erica is also, I think, slated to join Megyn Kelly on tour. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I saw that being teased. Charlie opened up to Megyn in the end. Megyn stood 10 toes down on telling the truth, which is why I deeply respect her for doing this, about the pressure that Charlie was under. And it was not easy for Megyn to do that, okay? She is still catching heat for the fact that she did that.
In the last video where I was talking about Candace Owens cherry picking who to attack, I'd mentioned this thing. She is acting as if Megyn Kelly is not in agreement with the same sentiments with the White House, which she is against, right? Anybody who agrees with the White House narrative of this situation, who agrees with the FBI and agrees that Tyler Robinson did it, she is blatantly against them. So Candace Owens, she is pretending as if she did not see in the same place where she was attacking Trump Jr. for accepting the White House narrative. Like she did not see Megyn Kelly accepting the same narrative in that. No, she's just skipping over it. And another person who accepts that narrative is Erica Kirk. She accepts that narrative. She's been having her medal time, her Trumpy time. Come on, people. Do we have to spell it out? No, we don't. But Candace Owens wants to cherry pick what she uses as her parameter. According to her, lying is if you disagree with her. Then when she goes to some people who actually disagree with her, she skips over it and moves to the next person. Candace, pick a lane. If someone disagrees with you, are they lying or not? Are they?
So I feel like Erica is kind of sending a message here that she's not standing against the people that are telling the truth.
Yes, that interview has just happened and I've watched it. Do you know one thing Erica made sure to inform the people doing her interview not to mention your name? Because she wants to ensure that you stay digging your grave all by yourself, and when you've dug it and you've finished under, the ground will collapse and cover you inside. That is what she is doing to you. Okay? It's not her vetoing your mess and craziness. She is not vetoing that shit. If she was, she would have thanked you in one of her speeches. She would have mentioned you somewhere. I'm sure there is no way she sat for this interview and any normal person who will not accept her influence on what is discussed on that interview will not ask her, hey, Candace Owens has been going on this rampage. What do you have to say? There is no way. It's the same like when Megyn Kelly lied that she's not watching Candace Owens' show. That's a freaking lie. Candace Owens is the biggest person when it comes to the Charlie Kirk investigation. The biggest mouth about the Charlie Kirk investigation is Candace Owens. Anybody who lies that they are not watching Candace Owens is a liar. Yes, let her say she's not watching all of it, of course. It's exhausting. I cover Candace Owens and sometimes I let it go. I'm exhausted with her nonsense. Let her say that. But saying she's not watching Candace Owens is the biggest lie she could have told on that stage. And she said it with a straight face. And Candace also ignored it as if she did not hear it. Okay, Candy. Erica Kirk is not vetoing anything. Erica Kirk has decided, she has deliberately decided to do you to you and for you to do yourself. That's just all that is going on. There are just some ladies like that. They don't mess with this shit. They will just let you keep digging your own grave and cover yourself eventually.
I said early on, if Erica Kirk asks me to be quiet, I will be quiet. She didn't ask me to be quiet. So,
Candace, you know for a fact, as much as everyone knows, that if Erica dares tell you to be quiet, you are going to turn that into a 62-part series where you investigate her, her great-grandmother, her great-grandfather, her cats, her dogs. In fact, you will look into the day every egg in her womb was fertilized, where she had her 2 kids, and you will make it a telenovela for the decades to come. She knows it. When she first of all said that thing, that when the only 2 people who can stop her from talking is Erica Kirk, sorry, Erica Kirk and her husband. The next week, she said, nobody can stop her. We made a video about that weeks ago. And now Candace wants to pretend and act as if Erica Kirk tells me to stop, I will stop. Candace, you know as well as I know. And also, another part of this, if you are looking for the truth, why will someone stop you from looking for that truth of what happened to Charlie? Which means all she is doing here is giving us content, drama. And if the person who is directly affected, who is dealing with this day by day, who is having real consequences, having a real investigation ongoing with her being involved in it, tells you to stop, you will stop. You know why you will stop? Because you're not carrying out an investigation. You're having a telenovela, a playtime with your buddies and your mommy sleuths on the internet.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. A show on whether I like her hair, her outfits, that doesn't feel right. And
you're pretending, Candace. No one is asking you to talk about her hair, her outfit, and you know it. And you know it. Just say, Elle connaît. This is the thing. Candace is going to cherry pick. She's going to cherry pick what she wants to discuss. Just the same way Erica Kirk is also going to cherry pick what she wants to discuss. Okay? Nobody's asking you to talk about her hair or outfit. You know that that's not what anybody is asking you about. So don't play dumb. Don't do this manipulative thing you're doing. You know for a fact what people are asking you. I have gone to some people's life where they were talking about they gave $200 super chats asking her vivid questions about Erica Kirk. And you know what she always does? She skips over those questions and she cherry picks the ones that are convenient. The reason she had to address it finally is because maybe it was getting too much and it was looking like. And the funny thing is this, she has been talking about everyone. Turning Point USA. Who is she talking about? Erica Kirk is the CEO of Turning Point USA. And do you know how I know she has been boxing Erica into that? In no time, she's going to mention the fact that Erica is CEO, which means every decision she takes is also involved. She's also going to be involved in. And as she's cherry picking, so is Erica Kirk. And that's why I don't buy Erica Kirk telling us during her interview that people have been having cameras in her face, looking at every tear. Erica, who are those who were having those cameras? Who held a gun to your head that you had to give a speech the first 48 hours of your husband's? Who held a gun to your head that you had to go on the podcast to talk about your husband's tapes which you're about to release and the strategy for Turning Point going forward? Who held a gun to your head that you had to even speak at his memorial? Nobody forces a widow to speak at the memorial. Some widows can't handle it and they let them be. Yes, he's a high profile, but if this woman was distraught in a way that she couldn't speak, they would let her be. So please don't come and make yourself a victim of a circumstance that you alone put yourself in. You're a victim of other things, not this one.
Also keep in mind that is the mother of Charlie Kirk's children. I had a real relationship with Charlie Kirk, a real friendship with Charlie Kirk, and what is left of him in this world are his 2 small children.
What is left of Charlie in this world are his 2 small children. What about his wife, Candace? Do you know why she made that statement? 1, she has not been close with Charlie for a while. 2, she and Erica Kirk have no relationship whatsoever. The only thing she remembers are the kids because that is what it is predominantly normal to say, okay, he has 2 kids. It's not as if she might have even seen any of those kids being born. Yes, Charlie Kirk was at her wedding. People go to everybody's wedding. People go to all types of people's wedding. Besides, they had worked together. It was just normal that he would be there. But one thing Candace will not fake here is a relationship with Charlie Kirk in the last year, a close relationship with him. It is possible, very possible, She has had a professional relationship with him, leading right to his last days. But one thing she cannot lie is having a close relationship with him, because if she had a close relationship with Charlie, she will also have a close relationship with Erica. But evidently, according to everything we are seeing play out, they didn't have a close relationship. Tell me that Candace Owens, who claims she's a mason of Turning Point USA, she has worked with Turning Point USA all this while, and then when Charlie Kirk she is not invited to the memorial. She's not invited for any of the events. The day they are giving his martyr speech, she's not invited. Before the memorial, she had not started this craziness that is ongoing now. No, she had not. She had just eulogized him, I think, and started a few things about investigating it. She had not gone so crazy. Before the memorial, why is it that you were not invited? And also, if you were that close with Charlie Kirk, so close, on the day that she gave her first 48-hour speech after her husband's, she even thanked first responders who were not there. She thanked ambulance people who were not there. She thanked people who were fictional people. And you want to tell me, Candace Owens, that you, who was a mason of Turning Point USA, you, who is so thick as thief with Charlie, who knew his most intimate thoughts, you can vouch for his religion. You can vouch for his stance on everything. His wife didn't mention you during her speeches. All her speeches, she has had so many of them. And even the last interview you were waiting for, she didn't mention you. Candace, this woman is intentionally, strategically ignoring you. But you know one thing about lockheads and people who are just, let me say, prostitutes for attention. She will not let it go. She will keep mentioning Erica until she passes out. She will ride this train till the wheels fall off, and she doesn't care because she needs that attention. She keeps baiting Erica. Erica is ignoring her. She's baiting her. Candace, according to your standard of lies, she has lied many times. According to Candace's standard, not mine. Candace's standard is if she disagrees with what Candace is. Definitely, the stance of Turning Point USA is the stance of the CEO. And even Candace Owens knows it because in a few minutes she will mention it. The stance of Turning Point USA is the stance of CEO. It's like telling me that the stance of the son of a family who, with a family that are so close and they have proven that they are together, they are always, is not the stance of the head of that household. No. The stance of the son of the family is the stance of the head of that household in that situation. So please, Candace, don't tell me that a company that is running a low-line employee is giving decisions that the CEO did not approve or does not accept. That is just not accurate, and you know that that's bullshit.
So to just take a baseless attack, if I catch her in a lie, it's a little different. But to just take an attack on her does not feel appropriate to me. I haven't seen any reason to do that. So I'm looking forward to the sit down with Jessie Waters. I think we're going to get a lot more from Erica, and we're going to see where her mindset is. Currently, there is one clip that is going around, and I have some unsolicited advice for Erica, and I appreciate the sentiment of what she's saying here. Let's take a listen.
The defense wants to ban cameras in the courtroom. How do you feel about that?
There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered. There have been cameras all over my friends and family mourning. There have been cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, analyzing my every smile, my every tear. We deserve to have cameras in there. Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide. I know there's not, because I've seen what the case is built on. Let everyone see what true evil is. This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come.
First of all, before we go to that, the first thing is this. Erica, I empathize with you, even though your husband did not believe in empathy. But I empathize with you. And I understand that you're a victim of a woman whose husband has been snatched from her. But what we are not going to do is make you a victim of something you are not. You're not a victim of cameras analyzing your every tear and every move and your family members' mourning. You intentionally gave a speech the first 48 hours after your husband was. Yes, I'm sure that maybe people could analyze that, oh, maybe it was a company thing, they needed her to, because no, she wouldn't have been forced to do that. She did that because she wanted to. Okay? You didn't see JF Kennedy's wife. What's her name? Damn, this is disgraceful. How can I forget her name? You didn't see that lady, Mrs. Kennedy, giving a speech the first 48 hours after her husband was. She intentionally tried her best to stay off and made sure that she appeared at his funeral with her kids where it was necessary, without which she stayed in the background and mourned quietly and peacefully. She could have intentionally taken that position and no one would have faulted her for that because she is a grieving widow. She deserves privacy while she grieves. But unfortunately, she was filming herself while her husband's body was there. She was filming herself with a microphone, talking to her husband, filming it and putting it on social media. That was intentional. No camera. There could have been no camera there and nobody would have held you accountable for that. You could have grieved in peace. But you decided to give a speech first 48 hours. You decided to go on his podcast 2 weeks later to have a full sit down discussing strategy. You decided all of that. So please, Erica, one thing you're not going to play victim of is victim of cameras in front of you. Yes, you could have had just the cameras on the days that were necessary, like the day of his memorial, giving you guys decided to have that large-scale WWE memorial. You could have had cameras in front of you. Now, let us take one example. Let me show you how she is pretending here. Do you know that nobody on the internet knows the faces of Erica Kirk's kids? Which is one of the things I admire so much about that lady. The fact that she has protected her kids' faces from the internet. I respect that. I respect the hell out of her for that. That was an intentional decision. And she has been able to keep it even through the husband's burial and funeral and all of that. How did she do that? She could have done that for herself, but she decided to put her every tear in front of a camera. She decided to put her every smile in front of a camera. Please, Erica, don't blame us for that. Yes, we want to have the camera also in the courtroom. And this is something that is also secondary on this. Candace Owens is going to pretend that she is not seeing that Erica Kirk is accepting that Tyler Robinson is the person who did it and he's the one who is going to be judged. Because we are not going to court to judge whether it was him or another foreign being. It's not like there are 16 of them that they are having in court to judge. It is him they are going to judge to decide if he is guilty or not. And from everything the FBI has said, he is guilty. Which means they are going there as a formality. And she is accepting that and wants the camera to be there for them to judge because she says there is nothing to hide, which means she has accepted what the FBI says. Candace Owens, according to her, anybody who has accepted that narrative is blatantly lying. Why is she pretending as if here she is not seeing that Erica has accepted that narrative? She could attack every other person. She could attack Donald Trump's son when he accepted the narrative, but now she will not say a word about Erica accepting that narrative. Pretentious, manipulative, plain dumb, and all of that. That's Candace.
So I agree with the sentiment, and I'm glad that she has pointed out how ridiculous it is to not want cameras into the courtroom, how ridiculous it is to allow him to appear virtually, not even on camera, for some pre-hearing matters. None of this makes any sense to the public. And what I did say early on, I don't remember which episode it was I would not have wanted Erica it would not have been my advice for Erica in a stage of grieving to go from being the widow to being the CEO and the chairman of the company. If I was running the company, I would have said, let's put in place an interim CEO, right? Someone below Justin Strife, I think, was the COO. I would have put in an interim CEO and allowed people to figure things out. Because it is a true statement that there's two things happening here. There's a widow, and then there is the chairman and the CEO. And that person, no matter what, is going to have to catch heat for any decisions the business is making.
That right there. Do you remember when I told you many, many minutes ago that Candace Owens is intentionally pretending that Erica Kirk, according to her, has not lied. Not according to me, according to her. Because she says Robbie McCoy, Mikey McCoy, the other guy who is now, I don't know the guy's name. I keep forgetting his name. I don't know why his name can't stick in my head. The guy who is still part of Turning Point, he is lying. She attacks everyone in Turning Point USA, everybody. The only person she's not attacking is Erica Kirk. And here she is accepting and knowing, saying the truth, which is that whatever comes from the lower height of the organization came from the CEO. Because definitely she is the CEO, which means every decision, she vetoes it. Everything that comes from anyone, she vetoes it. But Candace will go ahead to still pretend that the others are acting individually, while Erica Kirk is also acting individually, even though she is with them, thanks them every second she gets, goes on a podcast with them on her husband's channel. But Candace Owens wants to play dumb. She wants to act as if, oh my gosh, she's so oblivious about what is going on. Oh my God, I'm confused. What are you guys seeing? There is nothing here. Same thing she has been claiming the administration does, telling people there is nothing to see here. She does it with her audience.
That's just the reality of the way the world works. When you're a CEO and you're a boss, if a mistake is made, doesn't matter whether you did it, whether you said it, whether you tweeted it, it's going to come down on you. And she has assumed that role, okay? So criticisms pertaining to anything at Turning Point USA that are being directed at Erica are fair. Obviously, they are fair if they are directed about Turning Point USA and their actions. The second thing that I would say, and again, this is unsolicited advice, so she's free to throw it out, but in the entire issue and the energy right now is that people, irrespective of what's happening on paper, don't believe the story. They don't believe the story. And and of course, this is only a snippet of the interview, so I'm sure more will be said here. But I'm getting that you have seen the case. You think it's a solid case. She thinks it's a solid case at least, and is saying, show everybody what you have so they can see true evil. Within her capacity of chairman and CEO of Turning Point USA, they could be more transparent about what happened that day. People don't like the stuff that they've seen about Mikey McCoy. They don't like what they've seen about Rob McCoy. They don't like the history of Rob and Mikey McCoy and their involvement here. They don't like the video of Terrell. They don't believe what time text messages were sent or when the phone calls took place. Rob McCoy is lying. In the areas that you can control the transparency, I think doing that would be beneficial to Turning Point USA, because I don't think Turning Point USA is going to survive if they continue down this path of, Tyler Boyer late night tweeting at donors as he did over the weekend. I think he directed his fire at John Mappin and Arena Mappin, called John Mappin a loser. I don't think that that's the correct messaging to come out of Turning Point USA.
Candace, the funny thing you're forgetting and you keep pretending not to see is that Erica Kirk is with Turning Point USA. She agrees with Turning Point USA. She stands by Turning Point USA and what they are doing. Yes, of course, once in a while, one of them will flip up and do something. And if they flip up and do something that the CEO does not like, she will correct them and they will retract it. But unfortunately for you, you keep refusing to see what is right in front of you. This guy, what? She just mentioned his name. How come I just forgot it again? I don't know what's wrong with me and this guy's name, I swear. Good. Tyler Boyer. His name is Tyler. I swear, I don't know what it is with me and Tyler Boyer's name. I can't keep it in my head. Tyler Boyer. Tyler Boyer tweeted at Arena and John Mappins, telling them they are losers. Do you know why that hurts Candace? Because the funny thing is this, she has been encouraging Tyler Boyer and Turning Point USA to throw the donors of Turning Point USA who she doesn't like the Jewish ones that she doesn't like under the boss. She's been encouraging them to say bad things about them. But when they say bad things about the ones she doesn't like, because those are the two people who came out with a letter that they wrote that looked and sounded like it was Candace Owens who could have written that letter allegedly. We looked at that letter on this channel some weeks ago, and it felt like Candace Owens wrote it and sent to them, then they sent it back to her. The reason she's defending John and Irina Mappins is because those are the two individuals, those people who wrote a letter, the only two donors at Turning Point USA who have written a letter backing up what she is doing. If it was another donor, let's say a Jewish donor, trust me, she would have said, finally, I have held a fire under their ass and they're finally throwing those Jewish donors under the bus. I'm not saying the Jewish donors, I'm not defending them, but this is the thing. I'm just trying to show you her inconsistencies, her pretense, and her hypocrisy when it comes. If Tyler Boyer had tweeted at a different Turning Point USA person, a different one, a one she doesn't like, ooh, this would have been feast. She would have retweeted it. She would have been on his ass. You remember there was a time when Tyler Boyer came out and said there was a Jewish thing, something they wanted to give Erica to take on behalf of her husband, something like a medal or something. Now, they said that thing had been vetoed and Erica Kirk would pick it up. There was backlash online. When that backlash happened, Tyler Boyer came out and said, no, they did not veto these. They had not accepted these. I think it was a Hinduism time or something. They said they did not accept this. They did not veto these. They withdrew it. At that moment, Candace is so happy. She came out. She was so proud of that action. Yes, the fact that she liked it. But if it is something she doesn't like, she's going to be pissed. She's going to be pissed. She wants them to be against donors, but the ones she wants like Jewish donors, okay? The ones who have links to Israel, she hates those ones. She doesn't like them. So if you are saying something bad about them, she loves it. But now, if you're saying something bad about Irina Mappins, calling them losers, the people who sent the letter she wrote and sent to them for them to send back to her allegedly, oh my God, she hates it. So she's telling them Turning Point USA will not survive. It will not survive if you guys keep on this trajectory of talking bad about the people who wrote good about me. And this is the thing. When she had written that her letter and sent to the Mappins and they wrote it back and sent to her, she had told us that there are many more Turning Point USA donors are going to write endorsement letters about her like this. They are coming out. Since then, we are waiting, Candace. Is there more? No. Only Irina Mappins and her husband.
And there is something that my husband always says to me, and I don't know if he got it from somebody else, he probably did, but the expression is the market is always right. The market's always right. He says this about like trading and things of that nature, meaning irrespective of what your opinion is or what you think you know, the market is the market. So maybe the top execs at Cracker Barrel thought it was brilliant to change the marketing, and they brought in the highest paid advertisers to do that, and they thought it was sleek and it was the people revolted, and they said, we don't like this, we don't trust it, put that old man back up there, we want to see the Cracker and the Barrel, or we're out. And guess what? The market was right. That's kind of the point of the expression. The market is always right. And the market right now is saying we don't believe a single thing that happened that day. We do not trust the donors at Turning Point USA. We've got no messaging about whether those donors were removed. We want Turning Point to hit hard the people that are lying. Why are we getting this dance around the Catholic topic, which again did not come from Erica, okay? It did not come from Erica.
It did not come from Erica. I said Elika, sorry. It did not come from Erica because there is something called delegation of power. When you're a CEO, you can delegate people to do your dirty work, especially when you have that trashy woman on the internet talking trash. You just delegate someone else to do it because you cannot stain yourself, stress yourself to deal with that. You understand what I mean, Candace? Yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens with people and things like you. Okay? She delegates that to the subcontractors in the company to handle it. Candace, you are saying 1 minute that they shouldn't be calling out donors. They shouldn't be talking smack about donors, tweeting at Erica Mappins and this Mappins. And then the left side of your mouth now is saying, oh, they should call out the Jewish donors. Candace, you have to decide. It is either they're calling out any donor they want to call out or not. How do you know which of them is the best donor for Turning Point USA is the question I have for you. I'm not saying she is wrong or right on this, but this is the question. These people work at Turning Point USA. You don't work there. You've not worked there for a long time. These people have been interacting with these people and they know what the company wants. How do you believe? What is the parameter you're using? Are you the market? Are you the market? So if you decide that you don't trust the Turning Point USA narrative, then believe in it, it means that you are the market. The market is always right. Yes, the market is always right. But honey, you're not the market. You are just somebody who is on the internet running your mouth like I'm running my mouth about you. The market is not you. Okay? And you telling Erica, you saying that Erica did not say anything about the Catholic thing. You see how she keeps going back to the Catholic thing? She is so pissed about it. She's so hurt about it. I don't know why this woman wants to think that she's the person who vetoes what this guy believed in before his passing. I don't know why she is so bent on insisting that he was going to the Catholic side or not. You don't know. You did not lay next to that man every night. Let his wife speak on his beliefs. Let his wife decide what was her husband's religious beliefs. Honey, God damn it. Candace.
And I would imagine there are a lot of people that are speaking in your ear. That's what it means to become to wake up one day and be the chairman and CEO of a major company. But people are going to need clarity on these matters because it doesn't feel like those snakes are out of the garden. That's how.
And do you see where she bases everything on? Feelings. She's not brought one fact here, huh? Since she's been talking, no fact has been brought up. All she has had, feelings. Okay? So let's establish that and know that Candace Owens is operating on what she feels and every other person's feelings don't matter. Let's establish that first of all.
That's what it doesn't feel like, I would say. And so, yeah, I would say in every aspect that you can be transparent, which doesn't involve the feds, I would do that.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for busting out. I've been holding it together. I'm sorry. Every aspect that Erica can be transparent, that doesn't involve the feds, that's what she wants. So what she's saying is Erica should gather every evidence. Let Erica, Turning Point USA, and all the weaknesses, okay? All the weaknesses of the case, let them come to the court of Candace Owens, where she will sit and be the judge and jury. No, the jury will be her mommy sleuths. She will be the judge, her mommy sleuths will be the jury, and then she will be the person who ends the case and say, yes, you are guilty, you are not guilty. That is what Candace is perpetuating out here in the streets. I want you guys to listen to the meaning of what she means by this kind of things, okay? There is something about dangerous rhetoric. This is one of those. She says that let Erica Kirk and the Turning Point USA be transparent. Then before you want to say, but how do you know she has not been transparent to the FBI and to the authorities? She said, no. Every way they can be transparent that has nothing to do with the authorities. That's the only one she welcomes because she doesn't want you saying anything that has to do with authorities. No, she wants the court of Candace Owens to be the court that judges, finalizes. She'll be the judge. Mommy sleuths will be the jury. Case closed. I think we can leave it here. On the next video, I'm going to show you how Candace Owens was no longer friends with Charlie, and she herself proved it by telling us how Ben Shapiro was no longer friends with Charlie.